Welcome to the Connecting Christian Communicators call. Today is December 17th, and we are talking about the Associated Church Press contest. So the contest opened in December 1st, and the contest packet is available on our website. We are moving to a new platform, and Kristen will show us step by step how to register and how to navigate that new platform. But before we get there, I wanted to talk briefly and get your thoughts and ideas on why people enter the contest, what our most popular categories are, and answer questions that you might have about some of the changes that are coming about. So first, people enter a contest for a variety of reasons, and I just wanted to remind you that the ACP contest is open to members and non-members. If you are not currently a member, or actually, I guess if you are a member, there's a $5 differential. So if you're not a member, you pay $5 more per entry than members do. So there's a strong economic incentive to be a member. There's lots of great member benefits. I'm happy to talk to you about that if that's of interest. But we do, aside from the best of categories, which are the ones in the very beginning of the contest, best in class, those are open only to ACP members. All other categories are open to non-members as well. We do have, I think, a handy little PDF guide that lists all of the categories and all the information about that. It's on the website. I'll also, maybe Kristen can link that in the chat as well, or I'll put it in when she's showing more about the platform. But people like to enter the contest for a couple different reasons. I think in this environment, everyone wants to make sure that they're getting the visibility and the recognition for their work that they should get. So by entering and winning different contests, you can really elevate. Thank you, Kristen. The contest packet link is in the chat now. You can really elevate your work and show your funders the impact that you're having, the quality of the work that you are doing, and you can use that in your own socials. I think it's a great idea to crow about your wins, post them on social media, include them in your publications, to really highlight the great work you're doing. Individual for byline people, for individuals, winning awards gives you more gravitas and credibility, especially as a freelancer, especially if you're making your way. It shows that in a competitive atmosphere of your peers that you can submit amazing work. So it's important to do that. And some of the ways that you can broadcast your wins, include your wins in the publication. We will send, and I think we did this last year, we'll do it again this year. We will provide a press release that lists all the winners, adjusted how we display the winners on our website, and we'll continue to refine that as we live into our new website. And we also, from ACP's standpoint, we share the first place winners on the socials in each category. And so where we're able to tag you, we will, but those are all easy ways that we're trying to help you build your visibility. Does that all make sense? And any other sort of pro tips that you all have for people on why you enter and what you're hoping to get out of the contest? All right. So because I like to share with you sort of what's winning contests and entering contests, it's a little bit of art, a little bit of science. So it starts with terrific work, but I can tell you what our most competitive categories are and what our least competitive categories are, so you can sort of see where things fit. So for sure, the most entered category last year was the editorial or editor's letter, which was staff written, and it could be in all media. So we had about 27 entries there. So we're only picking 3. So it's a big one. Another big one, sort of, these all had 20 entries and above. Columns are also super competitive. That was our second most entered category. Seasonal articles, we had an uptick. We had 9 more entries year over year for seasonal articles. So that's also a really big fan favorite. And I think also magazine covers, as our membership tends to go a little bit more towards magazine format, we're seeing more entries in the magazines. I think it's no surprise that service journalism is another strongly entered category because most of our members are really looking at how they can be more impactful with their stories, how they can get into sort of that advocacy piece. And then local reporting long format is also pretty competitive. Personal experience, devotionals, and long format news stories. So it's kind of surprising, and maybe it speaks to our membership that we like words. So all the long format pieces tend to be more highly entered. Does that all make sense to you? Does that kind of dovetail with your experience? All right, so let's look at things that people aren't entering as many of. So these are places where you might want to see, do you have entries in these categories? Because obviously it increases your chances. So these are sort of undersubscribed, what I think of as undersubscribed categories. Integrated communications. So that would be that was its former name. We've now called that multimedia special products. So projects. So if you are working on a project, and I think this is something that'll develop more over time, maybe it has a print component, some online pieces, maybe it's amplified in your own podcast, that's multimedia. And you might want to consider really pushing some information out there. We also are not seeing a lot of digital editions. So, and this is in our best in class, so it is open only to members, but the digital edition mobile, I'm not sure if there's just not a lot of members focusing on that type of work, but that is a really undersubscribed category, as is blog. And so we changed that to be more of a focus on independent digital journalism, maybe a single operator, a personal website. So that we're trying to make that a little bit more cohesive, but that's undersubscribed for sure. And then things like photo spread or essay. I'm not sure if that speaks to some of the visual journalists getting maybe a little bit fewer or far between, but photo spreads are also kind of undersubscribed. And video production. Now, Randy, not to put you on the spot, but I feel like video production is also a little undersubscribed in my book. So just kind of thinking out there on where you might want to put your work. And Randy, do you have anything to say about video production and those types of things?
No, it's just it's fairly new. We were traditionally a print organization, but everybody is branching out with their social media and their visual presence. So we wanted to have categories that reflect that.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody can find the materials and join in the fun.
Well, and our goal really is to have a category, no matter how many entries are in, we want to have a category that suits every member and what you all are doing. So our contest should really be reflective of the kind of work that you're doing. And if you have ideas for new or different category tweaks for next year's contest, stay in touch. We're always open to hearing that. So that's a little bit of the most and least popular. Any questions there? All right. Kristen, I am going to spotlight you and you'll get to share your screen and all that good stuff to tell us about our new contest platform. And while Kristen is getting her tech ready, we've moved from the Judgify platform to the ACES platform, which is used by many press associations across the country. And so it's pretty straightforward, I think fairly intuitive. The real benefit is that the judging side is a lot less convoluted than the Judgify Me platform. So that will help us make sure that our judges are happy. So Kristen, do you want to share a little bit more about this and how people can register?
Sure. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's a little small, but otherwise it's good.
It's not letting me make it any bigger. I don't know.
And you've gotten to this through our website, so theacp.org. And it's under, oh my gosh, it's under connections, maybe? What is it under?
No, it's under programs.
Thank you.
Awards contest. When you click on there, it will have the link to this platform. The link is also in the contest booklet that I had sent the link to. Landing page, sorry. And you just come to the main newspapercontest.com. The list is here. we're at the very bottom. We're the very last one. It's not in alphabetical order. So if for some reason ACP's landing page didn't pop up, I'm just showing you how to get there. To register, you would just click the register button. What this is going to do, and be very careful when you're entering your information in, because you will receive a confirmation email that you have to approve in order to log in to start entering your entries in. I'm just going to do a test here.
So you just put in your name, you create a password, and this is all your information. So even though Kristen's putting in opposite at the ACP, obviously it's your email, it's your company name, and so forth.
Correct. The password, I'm sorry, I don't remember. There's special requirements, uppercase, lowercase. I think it's 12 characters and it has to have a special character. But it will tell you if you don't meet the requirements and what you need. We are telling everybody to have one person register from each organization. That way all the entries are under one login.
And so make sure it's your phone number. And then the association code, this is a critical piece. This ties you to our contest.
And this will show you, you'll see it right here. Oh, sorry, it's in step 1. It says the association code is ACP 2026. That also is in the contest packet. This question here, are you a member? I can make that bigger. That is going to determine your pricing. We will also go back in and verify that members are getting member pricing, non-members are getting non-member pricing. And then if you want a certificate or plaque.
When we say plaques, they're not going to be the wooden plaques of old. They're going to be a little bit more dynamic and sassy looking. So more to come on that. We have lots of great designers on the board, and I'm hoping to get their advice. All right. So once you hit submit, yay.
Let me find my email.
You do need to verify through your email. So this is going to send you an email that you do need to verify before your account goes live. And because we've switched platforms, we did not carry over the accounts from Judgify. So everyone needs to register. As Kristen said, as she's verifying, we do recommend that you have just one person filter all of your entries. If you have multiple people, they're not going to see each other's. Like if there's 3 people from Sojourners, there's not a contest manager that you can see what the other Sojourners people are doing. So you might be replicating or so forth. So it's probably easier just to filter it all through one person.
What are you seeing? I'm sorry.
We're seeing the steps for the contest.
Okay. I was trying to share. I'm going to hold on one second. Just because we had issues with this, I wanted to share what the email looks like. So this is the email that will come in. Can you see that?
Yep.
It's telling you that you're registered. You have to click the second link that says click this link to confirm your account and finish your registration. That's the link that needs to be clicked in order for you to be able to log in. Does that make sense? And we're going to go back to contest. It wasn't letting me switch, sorry. So sorry, from here, you're gonna go, once you confirm it, you'll go to login, enter your username, which was your email address.
And it looks like we're in. So once you verify, always remember your password, then we're here at the contest. So Kristen, I'll spotlight you again and you can go forward.
So this is what it looks like once you log in. To do your entries, you're going to click on add new entry. Here is where you would choose your organization. We'll just choose the first one. The preparer is the person who's entering it in. So like I said, one login, this will still let us know who put the entry in manually. Here you're going to pick the category type. That's based also on our contest packet if you aren't sure. Then you're going to pick your category. Special instructions just kind of gives you a blurb on more information on what that category is. Explanation or cut line is if any of your stuff's behind a paywall or if there is any specific information that the judges need to know. This is where you would put it in there. They will have access to this on the judges portion. You have the option to enter in up to 5 links per entry. The name of the entry is the title of the entry. The list of the people who should be receiving the credit for that entry. We can handle up to 5 in here, and our awards can only handle up to 5. If you have more than 5, we ask you to put in staff. The staff email, we would like the emails for all the individuals who are being credited for the entry that you're putting in. Worst case, we would ask for your entry. Just if we have any questions, we can reach out to you or that person. You have the option versus the URLs to enter in up to 100 megabytes per entry of a file.
So, and I guess it's important to note here, if you're doing URLs, you're doing web links, you don't have to upload a file and vice versa. We do need a staff email because we will be asking for people's headshots and things like that. So you can be the recipient of all those questions, or if it's handy and you have people's individual emails, that's fine too. Whatever is easier for you, but just be aware that we'll be reaching out during the contest cycle to ask for headshots and things like that. I don't think there are many people that have paywalls. Some do.
Yeah, unless you, like I said, any information you want the judge to know, that is where you would put that information so they see it on the judge's side.
Right. So we do need a password and username password if you're behind a paywall, because one of the things, and judges get really, really picky about this, if they can't see the entry, they can't judge it appropriately. So you do, whenever your strategy in terms of your contest entries, make it easy for the judge so that they can, if they have to look at 20 entries, you want them to not have to struggle to see yours. So if it's a small article on one page and you're uploading it as a PDF, like maybe put a red box around it so people know that's what it's called, or making sure that the headline that you're listing is actually the headline that's in the file. Making sure that they have access to it. Those are all easy things to do to make sure that people can see your work.
And that's it. I mean, you would hit save once you entered all your information in, and they will all show up. So when we first logged in, it didn't have anything down here. This will be your running list. You can make edits. This is just for you to see everything that's been entered. And then this button would be to make any changes if you found an error or anything.
And so what we recommend, the contest is open until February 15th. We recommend that you add, and you can save this and come back to it as many times as you want. Don't close out and pay until you are completely finished. I would do it literally the 15th or whatnot, because if you close out and then decide you want to add more entries, the system doesn't differentiate between paid and unpaid entries. It will bill you for the full amount of entries again. So you want to and you don't want to have to create a whole new registration for the sake of a couple entries. So we know that you will, we wait until the last minute to pay. We have had some members request the ability to prepay so that they can put some of that expense in this 2025 calendar year. If that's something that's important to you, Kristen can certainly do that. She's also the magic and mystery behind our wave system, which is how we do our accounting. She can send you basically a prepay invoice for the contest.
This is where you would pay through the PayPal system. You would just click it, enter in your payment information, and it will submit. If you are mailing a check, just to let you know, there is going to be a delay. Goes to Rebecca, she deposits it. Once it's deposited, I have to go in and manually mark your entries as paid. So if you go back in there and you're like, I mailed a check and it's not showing up, just know that that's what it is. There'd just be a delay in it getting updated. We will send out, after the date of the 15th, we will send out notices to everybody to let them know what they owe, to make sure they don't have the big, there's supposed to be a big notification on here not to pay until the very end, and it looks like it was missed, so I will have that updated just so that nobody misses it. So at any time you're able to go in and edit your entries. Just click back on entries, make any changes here, and that's really about it. If you have any questions or have any issues when logging in, or anytime in the system, I do monitor the office at theacp.org email as well as Rebecca, so don't be surprised if you see my name on it. If I'm responding, I'll put my name on it, and I will get it taken care of as soon as possible.
Perfect. Thanks. And so I wanted to check in with each of you. Does that make sense? And do you have, while we have the expert literally right here, does that make sense to you on how to enter and what to do?
And also feel free, like your first time entering, if you go in here and you want, I've seen some people register and they'll go in and do a test entry just to make sure. It's easy enough to do that. Once you go to get ready to submit it, submit your actual entries, you would just click the box on the entry you want to delete and then click delete selected so you're not being charged for it. So I have seen some people do that.
And I guess one other clarification, you see Division A in Anabaptist World here. And so that's everyone is Division A because we don't recognize divisions within ACP. Is that correct, Kristen?
Correct.
Okay. So don't fret that, like, what's this division work? That's just a factor of the system. We don't differentiate. Any
Yeah.
worries or concerns that you all have?
I wanted to check on the payment. We do usually pay by check. On Judgify, my memory is you could put it through as like there was an option to pay by check that you checked, so it would still give you that you had paid and that the entries were final and turned in. And I'm unclear here if whether it'll give the total amount and give me all that information at some point, or will that be if we had multiple entries, would the total be there? Not sure what I'm asking. I'm just a little unclear about the turning in a check and waiting. If you don't have a check in before the 15th, are your entries invalid?
No, so we would
Okay.
never leave you hanging like that. So
Oh.
if so there's always a process when at the 15th, Kristen and I go back to the system and say, okay, do we have checks for people? Are there obvious mistakes
Okay.
like someone put a website in the editorial category or something? So we're auditing that and prepping things to go to our judges. If there's a discrepancy, if there's something that doesn't look right, now we don't always catch everything, of course, but if we see it, we will identify and say, hey, what's going on? If you are mailing a check and you just want to say, heads up, I'm sending you a check, not a big deal. Discrepancy or delay that Kristen was talking about is the idea that we have to go back into the system and say, oh, yes, we've got Sojourner's check. So just because that's how life goes, there will be a little bit of a delay in receiving. We do not want to make life harder for anyone. So don't feel like there's a gotcha moment that, oh my gosh, we didn't receive your check by February 16th. Everything's done.
Okay, cool. And I see now the total will appear,
Yeah.
et cetera. So, awesome.
But what we were told when starting the system is that people will print this page and then send it in with their check, or that would be their records. That's all your entries, what the fees were, and then your running total.
And so when it says once payment has been verified, your account will become inactive, that just means that you won't be able to place any more entries in under that registration. You will have to create a new registration. So it's not that you can't go in and look at it, you just can't do anything to it.
It will have to be a different email than you initially registered. It won't let you re-register with the same email.
Any other worries or concerns that you guys are seeing?
If you have a larger file than 100 megabytes, we do recommend doing like a Google Drive, or what's that other one called?
Like a WeTransfer or something like that. But I would first really ask yourself, does it need to be 100 megs? Reduced file size on PDF is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So recognize also that, if you're asking someone to load a 100 meg file, sometimes that takes a while. That's not always judge friendly. So definitely when you think about what you're producing, they don't need to be print quality files. They need to be, I would just put them at web or standard print resolution, not your printing press resolution. The other thing that we're really trying to up our game on this year is looking for what I think of as kind of prestige judges. So we really want to build out our judge portfolio, because the best way to raise the prestige of our contest is who's judging it. So if you have people that essentially don't have a dog in the fight, those could be retired clergy, journalists, professors, and so forth, and you think they would be a good judge and you would feel proud to be judged by that individual, send me a note of introduction, or just even send me their contact information, and I'll reach out and invite them. It's an uncompensated prestige role, but we really do want to make sure that we have strong judges who are neutral and understand and know the industry. So that means we need people that draw on a lot of different expertise, not just editorial, but video, design, web, socials. We're really trying to reflect what our members are doing. So it's a whole wide range. So keep that in mind. Anything else that you all are thinking about?
Just thank you so much, Rebecca. This looks great. And I'm really excited about this next year. Just appreciate all the good work you guys are doing. Kristen, thank you.
Thank you guys. It really is a pleasure to work with the association. I'm looking forward to a really fun year next year. We're trying to make things routine things being routine. So we'll come out with our Connecting Christian Communicators roster early in January. Again, if you have any questions or need things, Kristen and I are here for you. So thank you. Have a wonderful Christmas. Hope you all have an opportunity to rest and rejuvenate over the next couple weeks. We can come back strong in January. All right. Terrific. Thank you.